Hello and welcome to the February 2022 edition of the Pre-sale Pulse, a channel that is dedicated to helping you understand everything happening in real estate across Metro Vancouver and the Fraser Valley. I'm Ryan Lalonde.
And I'm Brittany Reimer.
And if you're new to the channel, this edition of the Pre-sale Pulse is all about recapping both the pre-sale and the resale marketplace, everything that's happened in the last 30 days in the Fraser Valley. Our goal is to ensure that all of our subscribers feel like they have their fingers on the pulse and becoming real estate intelligent. So today we're thrilled to be filming in the sales gallery of Baycrest West by Woodbridge Homes. This is the latest installment of their commitment to this community. And here comes the sales pitch. Now, if you've been following the pulse, you know that townhouses are more precious than the latest and greatest crypto or NFTs. Now, this project has 24 townhouses. It's nestled right in Burke Mountain, fenced backyards, 2-car garages. It's Woodbridge built. Sales are launching soon, so this is a good time to remind all of our viewers, stay tuned for more information by subscribing to MLA Canada's newswire and making sure that you hit some of those links down below.
Right, this has to be one of the nicest show homes that I've seen in a while. Absolutely, get out here, come view us.
Jamie and the team have done a fantastic job. We're really excited about this one. And again, only 24 homes. This is going to sell out quickly.
Yeah. Excited to jump into the Fraser Valley here. We continue to see upward pressure on pricing with monthly price increases of 4 to 5% for single family homes, condo, and townhomes. So let's just think about that for a moment. 4 to 5%. In 30 days, that is easily equating to 20 to 50K per door, per home type. Those are really big numbers. It's also only February and there's no sign of any changes that we can see in the future here. So we're gonna jump into that. We'll cover our biggest upcoming project launches to start the new year. We'll talk about some of the benchmark pricing we're seeing in the Fraser Valley. And lastly, we're gonna wrap things up by looking at the resale market and some of the trends. So right, January is starting 22 with a bang. Let's break down some of the key highlights over the last month. BOSA hosted its webinar for Parkway's first release at the end of January in Surrey City Centre. They're writing deals in February, and I think we can expect some very big numbers coming from this project soon. The project itself is blending at $1,050 for price per square foot, slightly higher than some of the other local projects that we've recently seen. A lot of that coming from the fact that their units are starting on the 20th floor. So we continue to see confidence in that blue chip developer presence that we're actively seeing in the downtown core, and I don't expect that that's going to stop anytime soon. District Northwest, South Tower now over 75% sold. Sales have been put on pause as they prepare for their North Tower, so we'll be keeping a really close eye on that. And their North Tower has a very similar product and offering as the South, so we expect that it'll be equally as successful. So stay tuned for pricing on that.
We continue to see all that confidence around blue chip developers, right? So many of those tier ones that have come into that marketplace, they're really performing, and there's notable price per square foot differences between a tier 1 and a tier 2 developer in that marketplace. I think it's also really important, like with District's Northwest South Tower, it's now over 75% sold. It's done incredibly well. They've actually put on pause as they prepare to launch the next tower, the North Tower. North Tower has a very similar product offering, so we're gonna be following that closely. Can't wait to see what type of price points drive up in that market relative to what BOSA is doing.
Absolutely. So stay tuned on pricing. We'll see if things get re-escalated here for the second release. Given South Tower received over 1,500 suite request forms, we're expecting a significant number of purchasers that couldn't get into that first tower to jump over to this new opportunity. So Ryan, let's kick it off with some of the upcoming pre-sale projects.
I guess we'll get into B. Radley.
It's all in the name.
Is that a thing?
It's all in the name. B. Radley.
It's all in the name. It's located just off of 108th Avenue in Surrey. It's 193 units. It's coming to market early spring, I think probably likely March. We'll see. Emphasis on studio and one-bedroom product. This is around 72% of its inventory. It's just continuing that downward trend of low aggregates, really tight footprints. I think that long-term, we're gonna see that respond more appropriately to what we've seen in the past, which is more like a 60-40 split, but small format is here to stay today.
Yeah, and we know that concrete is blending over $1,000 a square foot, so it'll be really interesting to see how this wood frame offering starts to catch up to the concrete offering that we've already seen in market in Surrey City Centre. So right up next, the second release of Aldergrove Town Centre's first phase, the Veneta. This is the last building in Aldergrove's first phase. A lot of attention in the first phase of this project. We expect this one to also move very quickly. The project is 10 stories in steel frame. I think this is probably one of the first time we've seen this construction method in the Fraser Valley, so really interesting to watch. The project we expect will be blending in the mid 700s for price per square foot. Now that is a big jump from their first release late in December of 2021, where we saw wood frame around the $650 for price per square foot mark. So we expect that Langley condo and townhome market will continue to see this type of appreciation through the spring launches here as well.
You know, like steel build form, what's kind of interesting about that is we've seen that one other offering in the last 12 months that happened in the Burke-Whitlam area. It did well, probably somewhere between $30 to $50 price per square foot. We also think, though, at the time it was somewhat undersold because they did a substantial number of insider deals that came out of the development relationships that client or development partner had that were overseas. And so it's going to be really interesting to see whether this is closer to concrete or wood frame numbers. We got to continue the conversation on wood frame, though, in Surrey City Centre. I still can't say it that well. It's so hard to say, man.
It's a tongue twister.
Yeah.
It really is.
Central Living by the Mans Group developments. Now, this project's located at 132nd Avenue Street. It's Old Yale Road in Kitty Corner to Holland Park. Really amazing location. They quietly began writing deals back in the first week of February, so an early start to the year, trying to take advantage of Chinese New Year. Stay tuned. We're absolutely tracking both pricing and details of the launch. We'll report back next month on the progress that they've made.
So Ryan, let's take us back to Langley here, and we're going to touch on some townhomes made well by Gatehouse Developments. They began sales in late January, offering 2 to 3 bedroom plus den homes starting at $899 and up to $1.3 respectively, blending approximately at $745 for price per square foot, again, which is significantly higher than where we wrapped up the end of last year.
If I had to guess, though, when I think about that price per square foot, I think that they're reflecting back and looking at historical numbers relative to where the market's going to go. I think in the next coming weeks and months, you're going to see prices continue to push towards the mid to upper ends of $800 a square foot for various townhouse markets, as we just know there's so little inventory and so much demand for larger square foot living right now.
All right, Rye, so now let's touch on the resale stats. So sales in the Fraser Valley moderated in January, reaching just over 1,300 over the month. Now that's down 27% since January 2021. This was predominantly from a decrease of demand for detached and townhouse product, which saw sales slip 31% and 37% respectively. Condo product, on the other hand, was up 12%. And that's consistent with what we've been seeing on our programs as well. So as prices of single family homes and townhouse product has appreciated over the last year, purchasers are really turning to that condo market now to enter into the market. As they save for larger townhouse or detached product, we expect that the condo market will continue to lead in the spring here, and pricing as well will continue to lead.
And that's also very much in line with all of the predictions that we've been making on this show over the last year around the surge of townhouse inventory, right? Followed by the surge of townhouse demand, followed by obviously demand absolutely outstripping inventory and now pushing into alternative offerings that are a little bit more affordable. Yeah. And so the expectation is that we're going to continue to see price escalation happening in condos probably at a more rapid rate than we're going to see in townhouses.
Right, it feels like a great time to jump into pricing.
Oh, let's do it. All right. So first off, let's kick off with benchmark. So the combined benchmark price in the Fraser Valley, that was sitting at about $1.237 million. That's up 37% from a year ago, 4.5% from December, 4 to 5% appreciation month over month. You would have to look back to some of the early parts of the 2000s when we're seeing that type of escalation. And then if you were to look back, say, over the last 40 years, there'd be 1 to 2 moments in that time frame over the past 40 years where we see that type of price escalation. That is very, very rare in our marketplace. And this is really unsurprising given its heightened demand. The condo product has won out in terms of month over month appreciation. This has seen about a 4.6% gain from December. You can expect that going to continue. I think that as we run out of townhouse inventory, you're going to see prices kind of level. But there's so much inventory and so much opportunity. So for reference, the benchmark price hasn't seen a month over month decrease since May of 2020. So for nearly 2 years, we've seen upward pressure on price across almost every product type. That's very, very unusual.
Yeah, and then you break that down in a month-to-month basis, and you can really start to understand, why we landed from where we were 2 years ago to where we are today in terms of these price appreciations. So let's wrap things up. We'll shift over to sales to listing ratios. Among all product types, sales to listing ratios were at 56%, so still within seller's market territory. Now, this is actually a huge relief from December, which was 92%. So in some sense, it feels like the market is trending in that right direction. Condo product with the tightest supply-demand constraints with a sales to listing ratio of 99% still, which is why we're continuing to see prices drive up in this product type. Surrey City Centre was especially strong for demand in condos with 137% sales to listing ratio. That has to be one of the highest that I think we've ever personally seen for that particular market.
And speaking of Surrey, we just filmed the Surrey Centre Spotlight. Suggest that if you had an opportunity to check that out, click on the links below. That's going to give you incredible access to what's happening in that marketplace. And I think now, just to wrap up that sales to listing ratio, single detached homes and townhouse product sitting around 58% and 88% respectively. Again, really incredible market data that's coming out of the Fraser Valley. Those numbers unprecedentedly high. Britt, I think that's a wrap.
That's a wrap, right? It's been a pleasure to be over here at Baycrest today.
The sun's out. We're about to launch this program in the coming weeks. We're very excited about that. A lot of anticipation. And of course, the Fraser Valley, as we've essentially reported every month for the last 18 months, it's still humming. Now, if you found some value in today's episode, hit that like button and subscribe to our channel, The Newswire. That's our email daily roundup of the latest real estate news that's hitting our marketplace. Of course, MLA Advisory is also going to continue to play a really significant role in every major market across Canada. They feed incredible data, incredible intelligence, and most importantly, incredible insights. So if you're interested in a fresh perspective, or you're just wanting a second opinion, click on any of those links below, reach out to us. We'd love to take the call.
And lastly, of course, we want to hear from you. So leave a comment if you have any questions or you want us to speak about any market trends or insights that were not mentioned in today's episode. We enjoy hearing from our peers, and we want to ensure that this Pre-sale Pulse is your preeminent source of real estate intelligence.
Yeah, thanks, Britt. And also, just final plug, please don't forget to stay on top of looking out for that MLA Intel 2022 report. This is coming in hot. We're going to cover 2021 and everything that was really interesting that happened in the pre-sale marketplace. You have great insights, you have great data. This is going to be a must-have. Thanks to all of our viewers for tuning in. Looking forward to seeing you next month.